Welcome back to another informative video. Today we are going to talk about breadboards. I am going to tell you the brief of breadboards. For that, I have divided this video into the 8 parts. So first is history of breadboard, second is why breadboard are used for, third one is physical overview, fourth one is strips on a breadboard, fifth is jump wires, sixth is what's inside, seventh is feasibility, eighth one is alternate of breadboard. Apart from this, at the end of this video, there are some tips on use of breadboards. So make sure you watch this video till the end. I am Dhaval, you are watching DTech, and let's get started. So these are the early days of starting of the breadboards. So they have literally take this breadboard from the kitchen and started doing like this circuit designing on wooden plate is there, and on top of that they have created this contact, and those contact are joined together with this tiny wires. So it's like blocks they have created, and by merging this block they are creating the circuit. So here if you see that the soldering is not required, because here we just need to attach the wire with the component terminal. This is how the breadboard is looks. So breadboard is a simple device designed to let you create a circuit without any need of soldering. Would allow beginner to get the familiar with the circuit and without need of soldering. And even some large scale project are also developed on the breadboard. So if you are taking your first step into the DIY world, or in a microcontroller, then you might receive a breadboard in your Arduino kit, or maybe on a Raspberry Pi kit. Here we can divide breadboard into the two parts. First one is power line, second one is component line. So power line provides the power to components, and a component line where all the components are being placed. Let's have a closer look on that. So the two larger piece of wire down each side are typically used to connect the power source to the board, and they are actually referred as a power rails. And the other smaller pieces of wire running perpendicular all the way across the board are used for the component in your circuit. So it may be possible that your power line may be divided from this middle point. So there are four power lines you can access in this large size of board. It depends on model to model. So in one instance, let's say you want to create a PCB for a breadboard, then this is how your PCB will look like. All the lines will be, or the power lines will be sorted together, and all the component line will be like horizontal placed. So this is how the internal of breadboard looks like. Now one thing you have noted here, like there is one middle line in this breadboard. So that is used for the integrated circuit and even inline packages. So let's say you have one IC you need to place on a breadboard, then it should be placed at the middle of this breadboard, because the legs of your IC and the connector of a breadboard, that is in dimension, so you don't need to apply more pressure to get the legs inside the breadboard. This is the perfect place for your ICs and DIP. So if you are doing more projects on a Arduino and a Raspberry Pi, then the breadboard is the very handy thing, because you don't need to take solders and make a circuits and then do your testing. It's like the kind of flexibility the breadboard will give you. Like as you can see, you can place the LED and connect your power and the ground to the breadboard. Also, if you have any complex program running into, then breadboard is the suitable solution for you at the initial days. So this power line will only require to feed the power from Arduino, Raspberry Pi, or from the power supply only once. Then that power will flow entirely to the breadboard. By putting this jumper wire male to male, you can feed the another power line using the same pins. Now if you remove the back of the breadboard and have a closer look on that, then this is the metal ring you will find inside the breadboard. So this is typically connected with the horizontal and vertical, as we have discussed earlier, and this is a piece of metal strip which contain 5 to 6 volts. Now let's talk about the feasibility. So if you are running microcontroller and microprocessor greater than the 10 MHz frequency, then it may be causing issue, because the breadboard has internally shorted these terminal, so it create around 2 picofarad between these contact columns. If you go with the high voltage or high frequency, then depending on the circuit nature, it will add some capacitance to the circuit, so your circuit may be behave malfunctioning. So it's not recommended to use breadboard above 10 megahertz and at high frequencies. Now let's look at the alternative of a breadboard. Now let's say you don't want breadboard to create your prototype, then there is one more type of circuit design you can use, that is point to point construction. So the point to point circuit will be look like this. You need to place your component here and then short the two terminal by adding this wire and putting some soldering on top of that like this. So this is point to point wiring. So second one is strip board. So strip board will be look like this. You need to place your component here and there are so many tiny holes inside the circuit, and you need to put your component here and then manually solder the legs of your component by doing some line soldering and that kind of thing. So this is the prototype. As you can see, there are various component and all the routings you need to do manual. Now there is one more type of prototype board, that is tripad. So here the three holes are shorted together and you just need to put your component here and solder once only, so the other two holes get the same voltage and signal. And also if you want to create the PCB layout, which this picture we have already seen, so you can create your own PCB like this, which act as a breadboard. But here you need to do some soldering, because when you put the component here, then the terminal you need to manually short. Now I will give you one tip. Now if you are using breadboard frequently, then it may be a case that you accidentally put positive wire to the negative power line rails and negative wire to the positive power line rails. Now doing that, it may be blow up your circuit. Now to prevent this kind of accident, you can attach those wire to this barrel jack. So barrel jack will ensure that the outer side will be ground, so you can connect black wire, and it's type of connector, so you will save in this case. So that's the tip of the day. Thanks for watching. If you have any query, any suggestions or any feedback, then don't forget to drop a comment below. If you found this video useful, then hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family. If you are new to this channel, then do subscribe to my channel for more useful video like this and hit the bell button to get notified whenever I posted a new video, and I will see you in the next one.